home. Fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
She loses the football. Scooped up by Burns. Brian Burns to the house.
Welcome to the Stop Capping Sports Podcast.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Welcome back to the Stop Capping Sports Podcast. I am your host. We are here with Seth and John once I get them unmuted.
Yo, what's up?
There we go. I got you, Seth. All right, there you go. Now
What's going on?
We fumbled it. It's okay. We can get there. Hey, victory Wednesday for us.
Yeah.
We are recording here on October 15th. Had to check and confirm that date because it's been a really crazy, hectic week for me. But we are here. I know I've missed a couple of episodes. I've been a little busy. Had some things with the kiddo. He got an award last week, and we had to do a presentation, or I guess they had to present him the award. It's not a presentation, but they had to present him his award at the fire station in Davie County. It's pretty cool. He wrote an essay and won the essay for Davie County here.
Nice.
And then won a raffle on the same day, and it all happened to be on his birthday. So it was a pretty crazy 10th birthday for Pearson. So nice eventful day for the young buck. And then we went out on the water, got on the boat, went out to the sandbar, had some cake, hung out till about 9 o'clock, and then they had school the next day, so they were dead.
I bet.
They were dead.
Sounds like a day, man.
Yeah. It was a long day. It was a long, busy day. But what was better than that? No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't better than that. But
Close.
kids.
Despite all my kids' accomplishments.
Despite all my kids' accomplishments, there's only one thing I care about this weekend. That's the Panthers' victory. No, scumbag. No, I will say that did finish the weekend pretty strong, though. The week started pretty early for me on Thursday, and then or Wednesday, then Thursday was my birthday, and then we that was off on Friday. So it was a eventful weekend, to say the least, and that victory was sweet. First back-to-back we've had in how long? What, since 2015?
God, forever, man. I think it was 2021.
A back-to-back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 21.
I know 21 was.
Isn't that the year we started 4-0 with Sam?
No, it might have been 2020.
Whatever it was, that 4-0 start with Sam. That was
Gotcha.
The last time we went back to back. It's
Gotcha.
been a while.
Yeah, that has
We've
been
had
a while.
3 quarterbacks since then, so it's been a while.
Under Matt Rule. I know the last time we were 500 was the I'm back game for Carolina for Cam Newton when he ran that ball in, and we went 3-3, I believe it was. Same thing. No, 4-4. Maybe it was 4-4. But yeah, been a busy.
Been a while.
Yeah. It's been a grind for Panthers fans. I had to bring the jersey back out because it's finally something to celebrate a little bit. And with that, we got to get our beers ready, of course. I don't know if Seth's got any, but
no,
I've been drinking since Sunday. I'm just kidding.
I don't know if he's kidding. He might not be. He's being pretty honest.
Nah, I couldn't hang that long. I'd be in a coma. Now, so I listened a little bit to you guys' episode this past week, and John, the only person to really pick the Panthers, which I'm completely blown away.
Yeah,
completely blown away with that one. It's a little harder for me to make my picks when I'm not on the podcast, because then I can talk through what I really want to go to.
You convince yourself that what you're thinking in your head is right.
Yeah, once I start to like talk about it, I'm like, okay, now this is who I want versus like the quick thought, throwing it in a keyboard and then sending it over. The thought process, the defense for the Cowboys was just shit.
Atrocious.
And honestly, Rico Dowdle revenge game. I know he had his big game 2 weeks ago, very big game, but then he topped it this week.
He did.
Which was huge for us. Broke the franchise record for all-purpose yards, and what was tied or something with Jonathan Stewart for rushing, if I'm not mistaken.
But I know he 239 total yards, I think is what he came out to.
Yeah.
That's insane. Back-to-back weeks, over 500 plus yards from scrimmage. It's pretty hard to do, man.
Right. I think he's number 3 in the league in rushing.
Yeah. And he started 2 games.
He's number 3 in the league in rushing yards right now.
That also tells you how bad it is right now with running backs in the league. Like,
yeah. Henry's really not doing much.
Barkley's not doing squat.
Saquon's been
he's been rough since week 2.
Yeah, it's been a tough year so far for Saquon. It's been an interesting year for running backs. Javonte Williams couldn't get anything moving on us. Nope. I think we've combined the past 2 weeks 50 yards rushing allowed. That is insane. And this is where, when it comes to defense, this is where I was expecting us to be with the additions that we had this offseason. We went after the run. We went to build this team to be able to stuff the run. The first few weeks, everything was just not there. I know we've gone in our rants. I, for one, do not like the coaching staff and how they handle the early season stuff, and it feels like they just throw the first month of the season away. They just get themselves behind the 8 ball, and that's a hard. You can't do that every year. Like, you're gonna need these early victories. You can't come into the season so unprepared, get busted in the mouth, and then just look ridiculous for the first 4 weeks. It just doesn't make sense. Like, at what point do we start the season, start the week strong, and then let that go for the year? This starting slow thing, just throwing something against the wall, waiting to see what sticks, is all I can get from this freaking coaching staff. We're finally starting to get Jimmy Horn involved only because of injury. I understand that there's been a lot of craziness with the receiving core, the injuries, the trade, all new faces on the field at one time. A lot of craziness going on. It is tough to expect consistency in an offense where you literally have all new faces, and your coach just decides that it's a great idea to just continue elevating practice squad players instead of your active 53 and dressing them. Weird, but hey, I'm not in coaching ranks, and I'm not even going to say I'm smarter than him, but I'm smarter than him. I would have put Jimmy Horn in week 1. I don't know. And still don't understand why now we have videos of Jalen Coker catching punts. He's coming off of a hamstring. Yeah. And you still have Jimmy Horn on the roster. Like, you still have this guy. Like, I don't know if they just don't know he's there. Maybe they're just forgetting about him. Like, he's the kid that he's like just trying to get all the attention of all the friends in the football team. Like, hey guys, I'm here too. Like, that's what this feels like. And they're just like, who is this? Who's that? They're looking over top of him. Who's that yelling? I don't know who that is. They're just ignoring him completely. I don't understand what's going on. The dude is a freak athlete when it comes to his speed and his ability to run routes. He's got great hands. Why not put him on the field? Why not consistently put him on the field in the positions that he can succeed? He just led our team in receiving in our second week, in his second week being active in uniform. Not saying much because I think Tet had 29 yards.
Yeah, he scored twice. He finally found the end zone, but he didn't get a lot of yards.
Yeah. But, we're 3-3, and I'm still not happy. I know that sounds crazy from a Panthers fan to not be happy at a 500 record, but I'm still seeing incompetency in the coaching ranks, and it's pissing me off. Like, how can you be this inept? How can you struggle this hard with making personnel decisions? How is it this challenging? Like, you have a guy who could quite literally, if given the opportunity, be the best receiver on this roster with his skill set and the way that Bryce uses the quick guys. And you're not using him. Like, he's getting out there for 30% of the snaps.
There's probably a reason for it. I mean,
They
we're
have
not there.
I
get it.
just said that, oh, we don't know how to use him in our offense. Those are the words coming from our head coach's mouth. That's the words coming from his mouth. We don't know how to put him in our offense. Those are his words. I'm going to take him at his words. They didn't say we need to give him more time in the offense. They didn't say we need to give him more time with the coaches. No, he said we don't know how to put him in our offense.
Well,
that is a coaching deficiency.
That to me asks the question of why the hell did we draft him?
Right.
Why it's a part of the draft process. Like, why are you going to draft a guy if you don't know how to use him?
Exactly.
So
these are Dave Canales' words now.
How can you even evaluate him?
That, but how could you draft a guy if you don't know how to use it properly? I mean, that's a big question. That's like drafting a 4-3 defensive end and then trying to transition him to a 3-4 outside linebacker and then see what happens. DJ Johnson, that's what happens. Prime fucking example. Right. So, I mean, I get it. I want to see him on the field. I think the play they drew up for him to begin the second half was really, really good. Got him out in space, got him open. Bryce Young hit him with a nice ball down the sideline on the left side of the field. Things like that. I think he had a sweep play as well with a quick rush around the edge. Things like that. That's how you get him involved, right?
Especially get him involved more than that. He can literally be used like worthy.
But when you're running the ball as much as we are in the last 2 weeks, he's only going to get so many opportunities at a touch. Like, let's be real about it. Realistically, you don't run for 200 plus yards back-to-back weeks as a team unless you're running the ball a lot. And we have been running the ball significantly more than what we did prior to the last 2 weeks going into the games. So for me, it's about finding that happy medium, a good balance between being able to be dominant on the ground and then Bryce Young being able to trickle in those off-platform throws. The touchdown, prime example, the shoulder dip, reset his feet, boom, wide open touchdown. He can give us those plays. We don't need him to give us an 80-yard touchdown bomb. That's not our game, right? We need to let him manage the game within the game, and then we need to let the run game be dominant. If we can do that consistently, this team can win, and it can contend within this division. The Saints aren't good. I sent y'all multiple reports today. They're looking to shop both their top 2 wide receivers in Rashid Shaheed and Olave. Both of them are on the open market. I pray to God the Bills actually take Olave. That would be wonderful. Just throwing that out there from a fantasy standpoint. Let's make that happen. But realistically, the Saints are going to be a bottom-dwelling team. This is a team that's going to contend for the 101 in this year's draft. And you turn around, we already beat the dog shit out of Atlanta 30-0. So we have that head-to-head so far. And then when we look at the Bucs have won. They have one loss on the year. And every single game they won was with a fourth quarter comeback to take the lead. The Bucs, even though, yes, their record is very good, Baker Mayfield is playing like an MVP. I know I mentioned that last week too. But realistically, are they going to be able to continuously and consistently win every single game when they're trailing in the fourth quarter? No, it's very unlikely. They're going to have some hiccups. That team is susceptible. They have a ton of injuries on the offensive side. They have another one. Abeka Buki pulled his hamstring this week. Mike Evans is supposed to hopefully be coming back to practice from his pulled hamstring. And then Godwin and his leg injury, he's back out this week again. He was out again last week. And then realistically, I think they're also missing 2 offensive linemen. And Bucky Irvin's also hurt, and he's going to be out again this week. So they have a lot of holes. Baker's doing what Baker's doing. Like, God bless his soul. I don't think I've seen somebody do something with so little around him when everybody always said he was only doing as good as he was because of the talent around him. And then turn around this year and he's playing at MVP level with his talent completely missing and inconsistent on a week in and week out basis.
I will say, yes, his starters are missing, but to say that the guys that are coming in are not talented, I would take those guys every single day of the week, even their 5th, 6th, and 7th string receivers. I'm taking those guys over the Carolina Panthers receiving core until this season. every single year that Bryce Young has been in this Carolina Panthers uniform.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the past. We're talking about the present. So I feel you. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm just saying when you have that many rotating parts in an offense, typically it ends very badly.
That's a sign of great
consistency
coaching.
with Baker.
It's a sign of great coaching, getting their guys prepared. It's a sign of great draft classes. It's a great sign of the general manager and everything that was already there before he arrived. Just being able to build on things that are there. So
that's easy to say, but he's also on
a football team.
He's on his third offensive coordinator since he's been in Tampa.
That's okay.
Our head coach was his offensive coordinator 2 years ago. Liam Cohen was his offensive coordinator last year. He's a head coach.
Both of them head coaching jobs.
Facts.
Right.
So I mean, hey, call it coaching or you can call it Baker. One way or another.
I'm calling it roster because you have good roster, you can play for good football. And I'm calling it
look at how well Bryce Young is playing now that he has a legitimate wide receiver one with Ted.
He's still not even doing as good as I know he can. We have one guy who's now dropped about 6 passes in the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, them hands, boy. He got some brick hands.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, his best player is
still wide receiver one. You can call it what you will. The dude's balling, man.
He's
top 10.
He
coming into last week, he was top 10 in the league in receiving yards. And that's with our run heavy ass offense. So
that's definitely 2 drops right through the hands, though.
Yeah, he's had a couple.
He's had more than that, but yeah,
he's had about. Yeah, I would say about
pretty
6.
abysmal.
Then I guess there wasn't even drops. So
yeah,
it was a pick.
Yeah,
not to circle back to last week, but I do have a question for you because you wasn't on here, so you can talk about it. Xavier Leggett's touchdown catch, all hands.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts?
About time.
Best catch of his career. I think it was the best catch.
Can you think of another one?
That's where I'm stumped right now. Yeah,
I would say
all hands, man.
Has to be the best catch of his career, which is actually kind of pathetic. That's just a normal wide receiver catch in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's what's so pathetic about it.
I think his second best one was that one where that crosser he got that in the same game. That was his second best.
They actually got both feet in bounds.
Yeah,
didn't run out of bounds before he got him down.
Oh boy, yeah. So
talent. 2 more, he's got a Mount Rushmore.
Talent.
Facts.
I know, right? Jesus Christ, dude.
Getting there.
I was happy for him. I definitely want to see the guy turn around, So
I want to see the dude succeed. All we can do is talk about what we see.
Yeah.
And the dude is a fucking liability. I mean, and then this week he runs backwards off of a stop route. It's like
the attempted pitch back, the fumble, that was awful. I don't know what the hell he was thinking in that situation.
Rico got credited for the fumble after he was just trying to recover that mess.
Yeah. That was all he said.
Okay, so I mean,
like that, dude. That's terrible.
Y'all saw that Rico apparently told him to pitch it. He was calling for it. I'm not saying that exempts him from any blame because
Rico did take accountability for the play in the postgame press conference.
Yeah, he called for the pitch, but what annoyed me, I'm not even fuck the pitch. Like, yeah, you let your teammate convince you to make a bad play. What pissed me off is that he catches a 5-yard or 3-4 yard stop
and doesn't cut up
and then runs away. Runs backwards.
Yeah.
And then it's like he did the good screen where he got vertical right away. It's like that's what it's supposed to look like, Xavier. That's what it's supposed to look like. Catch it and turn north. Read your blocks and go.
Well, what have you been saying?
Yeah.
He's afraid of contact.
He's afraid of contact. And then this week he catches a stop. You know what? His back is turned to the defense. So what does he do? He runs away because he's afraid of something he can't see behind him. Yeah. So he runs away, turns around, sees that he's clear, and then he gets wrapped up, and then he tries to do something stupid and pitch the ball. He is afraid of contact.
So the one that he pitched to Rico, I saw him run that route, and when I saw him run it, I was like, why is he not? I was like, he should cut it up. Like you're within yards of getting a first down.
Mm-hmm.
You should cut that ball up and take on whoever's guarding you.
Right.
And just know you're going to do it and power through it. You're that freaking physical.
He's huge.
That's supposed to be your game.
Dude.
It's supposed to be your game. And as soon as I saw him do that, and he's like curling in, right? He's like, because he's arching it off. He ends up coming back, like Dean said, negative yards, then gets tackled, running laterally, never tries to turn upfield, running laterally, coming back. He gets tackled, and I didn't know the Rico thing, but still, okay, if you can make that, if you're in position, but the way you were going down, you had no
shot.
Like you had no leverage on throwing that ball.
No.
To get a dependable, that was a bad play.
And not even that, factoring in where we were on the field.
and almost the point of the game.
That almost cost us a field goal attempt because of how many yards we lost. Like you had, like they tell quarterbacks all the time, right? Can't take a sack here. Can't take a sack here. You can't try to be a superhero and pitch the ball when you're running the fucking route that is designed to get us closer for a field goal. Like, do your job. Catch the ball, get upfield, get down. That's it. Yeah. It doesn't need to be any extra shenanigans. We're not trying to run no hook and ladders here like the Detroit Lions. We ain't got the talent for that shit.
How many times do we have to like find these moments where we're like, hey, dude, like, do better?
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, like
I'd say about 10 times a game, you could literally look and say, hey, we could have done something better or different.
I'm just for one player to constantly have these shit plays, like, and have to have these coaching moments where the coach pulls you to the side and, hey, man, probably shouldn't have done that. Like, how many out of one player? You're in the NFL. Yeah. It is one guy that is continuously having to get pulled to the side. Like, probably shouldn't have done that. Probably shouldn't have done that. You know, like it's one guy. Yeah. Hey, all you have to do is drag your foot. You know, all you have to do is drag your foot. You're a big guy. You can take it. Just drag a foot. You're an NFL.
It's not him, man. It's not him.
If it's not, bro.
It makes me question what does his practice habits really look like? Is he really engaged at that level in practice where he's perfecting his craft, or is he just going through the motions of a game plan?
I mean, everybody's saying that he's practicing hard. I'm telling you, I think he's completely.
What's the definition of practicing hard? Because obviously our practice has got some issues with how shitty the start has been over the last 2 years, how shitty our preseason has been. Like, we need to reevaluate how to practice.
That's a coaching thing, by the way.
I agree. I'm not saying it's not. I feel you on the coaching situation. I think that we got a lot of opportunities to get more consistency out of our coaching staff when it comes to having game prep, having these players ready to go onto a football field and excel, and putting players, like you said, Jimmy Horn, in a position where they can be utilized and successful in an offense or defensively with a Jero Rivera, with some of these pass rushers. The fact that the two inside linebackers had to come to them and say, hey, let us flip-flop so we can be comfortable in your damn defense. I know you weren't here for that one. No. But like, what are we doing from a practice standpoint, behind the scenes, behind closed doors, in the film room? Like, how the hell is this stuff happening? First off, why is it happening? And how is it being this well documented? Like, I don't think I've ever seen it. And then prime example, how the hell did Dave Canales not know that J.C. Horn came to Jero Rivera on the last possession of the game and said, let me lock up one-on-one with Pickens? He didn't even know that at the post-game press conference. Like, this is the team. We're trying to win a game, and you don't know what your best player on defense, arguably your best player on defense, we'll go with that word, arguably, the best player on defense wants to do. He wants to lock up one-on-one. He wants to be able to travel with Pickens and neutralize Pickens to end this game so that we can win, and he had no idea that it was happening. How does that happen? Like, where the hell is the communication here? That's my question. Like I said, when you look at it, I think we have a lot of issues behind the doors, behind the facilities, in practice, in those training rooms, in the film study. Like, what are we doing to prepare for NFL football as professional athletes? A lot of people talk about practice the way they used to, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because you're not always in full pads. You're not always hitting it every practice. You only have so many padded practices that you're allotted throughout the entire course of the year. So what do you do to maximize the opportunities that you have to pad up and actually play football on a practice field? I don't think we're taking advantage of those opportunities. I don't think we're preparing some of these players defensively, especially for those opportunities. I know we talked a lot about Ransom. I know he's one of your favorite dudes from our rookie class, but damn, he was a liability last week covering tight ends. Holy shit. Last 2 weeks, really, because he couldn't do anything against Waller either. And last week, same thing. They were eating us with tight ends, and Pickens was absolutely killing J.C. Jackson on the side like the entire game. So
Mike Jackson?
Yeah, Mike Jackson, sorry.
Might as well say J.C. Jackson because
just about the same thing, right?
Horn couldn't cover either. So
yeah, really. But
every decent route runner cooks J.C. Horn. Every decent route runner. If they're not a big body, I'm gonna go vertical type of receiver, J.C. Horn gets ripped.
But for our defense, and I understand we do play a predominant zone defense, but at the same time, I think these players have better skill sets, and we're not utilizing skill sets.
They ran a lot more man this week than they have in the past, and they cooked us the entire time.
JC wasn't on Pickens.
JC was on Pickens and held him and still gave up a catch. He held him and still gave up the catch.
Jackson was getting absolutely throttled by Pickens.
But we ran more man than we ever do. We never run man. We hardly ever run man.
Hardly run man, I agree.
And we ran man quite a bit this week in comparison. It's not like we're over here running straight up dime or nickel man coverage packages every 2 plays. But when we ran man, we got beat every single time.
We got beat in the passing game the whole damn game. The difference maker was the front 7 in the run defense.
If you have a top 5 corner in the league, how are people passing all over you?
Ain't nobody say J.C. Horn was a top 5 corner.
No. Statistically speaking, metrically, all these other advanced metrics and all these other conversations, his contract, everything has been indicating that we have a top 5 corner. He's not a top 5 corner. He can't cover. He is Richard Sherman.
Good at what? Well, I mean, Richard Sherman's a potential Hall of Fame candidate player. JC's good.
You know what Richard Sherman did? He covered the third.
He did his job. He covered his 1/3, and
that's it.
Covered 3 defense.
The difference is they had Cam Chancellor, and they had Earl Thomas at the safety, and they also had an elite front 7,
legit elite Pro Bowl and all pro caliber safeties.
Right.
Jason Horn played better. He played better last year. This is not the same play that we got out of JC last year. Though that's my thing. And I sort of talked about, I don't know what's changed, but I thought Mike, Jack, and JC were better early this season than what they've been over the past 3 weeks now.
I agree.
And we were a little bit more iffy on the run, if anything, early on. And then we sort of it's like we shored that up, even against a good running team, even like Atlanta. We held Bijan pretty much 70-some yards or something.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a pretty good feat against Bijan,
especially when he had an 81-yard touchdown run yesterday.
Right. So I feel like something is flipped in this defense where we were sort of decent on the pass on the back end and weak up front, pass and rush. But now it's like, all right, we've sort of figured out the rushing defense part, and our passing has still no pass rush, and now we're leaky in the back.
And I think there's 2 things that you said there that I'll piggyback off of. Our pass rush is extremely inconsistent. Let's be real about it. When you're playing zone defense, if your pass rush can't cause pressure, someone's going to get open. It's a formality. But there's 2 things, and I mentioned this last week too. I think there's issues with the communication on the back 4. I don't think they're communicating well. I know we got the safeties, right? Mo Riggs been playing elite versus the run, but when it comes to coverage, he is a liability.
Yeah.
Ransom has been playing
even
very
against
well
the tight end too.
He has been. Ransom's been playing very well versus the run, but he's a liability in the pass defense. And then you got Jackson and Horn. And when you have 2 safeties that are liabilities in the zone pass defense, then you're relying on your corners to be able to make plays, but your pass rush can't get there. And a quarterback's got 4.5 seconds in a pocket to find an open guy in a zone defense. It ain't that damn hard for him to find somebody. I think this defense needs one thing, and there's one guy that we need to look at to really mold the defense after, that's Brian Flores. We need to blitz. We need to bring more pressure. We need to be more exotic. We need to bring safeties on blitzes. We need to bring the corners on the blitzes. J.C. Horn did very well last year as a corner blitzer, right? Morig would do very well from safety blitzing. But we don't bring enough pressure. We don't bring enough exotic blitzes. We don't have the pass rush to support it, but we're not doing what we can to put, again, players in positions to be successful, to excel in their skill sets on a consistent basis. And I think that's where our defense is really, really struggling. We've shored up that front four versus the run. That's what free agency did for us. That's why we went out and got a lot of the players that we went out and got. But now we got to make sure that we're taking care of that back end. The communication needs to be better. The players need to understand their role and responsibilities. And we have got to start revving up blitzes and getting at their opposing team's quarterbacks. Because if we don't, we're going to end up in shootouts like this every week. And majority of the time, we're probably not going to end up on the positive side winning those matchups. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, just to piggyback off that, I mean, you can look at this metric. It says key pass rush stats year to date through week 6, rank in parentheses. So Carolina is on the 5th row. We are 32nd in pressure rate, 30th in pressure to sack rate, which means when we do get pressure, we bring the quarterback down. Our sack rate, 32nd. Our blitz rate, 19th. So we're kind of middle of the pack in our blitzes.
Need more.
Non-blitz pressure rate. So when we don't blitz, we're 32nd. And when we have a 31st in pass rush win rate, just general pass rush. That is pretty fucking bad.
That's almost the worst in the league, if not the worst.
It is.
Yeah, 31st or second last.
Yeah, when you talk about like across the board, there's no one who is as consistently bad in every single category as us. We are the worst pass rush in the NFL. When you talk about category to category, we're in the purple in every single category. Yeah, I don't see anybody else that is not that is in purple in everything. Like I'm just looking.
The Bengals, they're
the
30,
Jets, the Jets, the Bengals. Yep, they're all in purple. But again, they're 19% in the pressure to sack rate. So when they are in the backfield, they get a sack. They're in the middle of the pack. They got Henderson. They got a good defensive end. So yeah, I mean, when you talk about across the board on all 6 of them categories, we are probably the worst in the combined 6 categories here in the NFL. So let's just say we have the worst pass rush in the league. Simple as that. Pretty safe
but
to say.
That's why you got to bring more pressure. You got to be more exotic with what you're doing.
We're 19th in pressure or blitz rate with 0 pressure. So we're blitzing. It's just we're not getting anything. So it's showing that we're 19th. So there's 13 other teams they blitz less than us. That's middle of the pack. We blitz. When we blitz, we still don't get pressure. We are the worst pressure defense in the league by a mile. It's
so we would be average. We'd be 29th in the league overall.
At least we're 3-3 with that shitty ass pass rush.
Well, I don't know if you can. If you add the blitz rate is the best category there.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's still 29th.
Yeah.
Overall.
With the 19th blitz rate. Yeah. But that's a stat that doesn't do anything. That's just a stat to say, hey, you blitz.
Right.
Every other stat here is talking about success of pressure. Yeah. This is just, hey, we've tried to apply pressure. That's
true. Yeah.
Not to go back to the guy I was talking about, but if you look at how well the Vikings pass rush defense is, there's a reason why I specifically said that team. Right. Now, mind you, I didn't actually look at this in detail when you sent it out. I saw it and I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Yeah. But no, Brian Flores, man, if you want to know how to call a defense, him and Vic Fangio are probably the 2 best guys that you want to model your defense after when it comes to applying pressure to opposing teams' quarterbacks. Yeah. With your front 4 and with exotic blitzes.
Vic Fangio is the same scheme we run.
Yeah, but they have better players.
Yeah.
A lot better
players. The Eagles? The Eagles are 17th in pressure the pressure rate. It's the top 2 are the Broncos without. Yeah. So their pressure rate is 41.7%. So Broncos have the best pass rush in the league. Non-blitz
Don't they
pressure
already have
rate.
30+ sacks on the season?
Yeah, they're
Insane
going
amount of
nuts.
sacks,
They're
dude.
literally number one in 4 categories. The Broncos.
by a large margin.
By
Right.
a margin too.
So the stat to look at, the really important one, is that second to last non-blitz pressure rate.
Yeah.
That's the one you want to look
Best
at.
defense.
That's
Right.
your
That's
your
your
base
front
defense.
four.
Mhm.
We are almost 3% less pressure than the second worst pass rush in the league.
That's tragic.
At 32, we're at 19.5%. The Bears at 31, 31st ranked, and the non-blitz pressure rate is 22.1. We're almost 3% less likely to get to the quarterback when we don't blitz than the second worst team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Just let that sink in.
That's rough.
That pass rush is atrocious. And it's crazy because I see Scorton out there doing these crazy spin moves. He's getting out. Umami Owens doing a nice little spin move here and there. Like those two guys, I feel like they're doing stuff. But I don't know if it's when I'm watching the games, it just seems like the plays that the guys do make a good pass rush, the coverage is so shit that the quarterback just hits his back foot and then just gets rid of the ball before the pass rush even gets there. So, like, you'll see Scorton hit this mean spin, just make the left tackle look freaking stupid. Ball's already out because the coverage in the secondary is so trash. I mean, it's like there's never a moment where just it all clicks. It's so frustrating to be a Panthers fan. We can't get moments in this game, in this sport, where everything is just like clicking at the same time. Yeah. Where you have the nice spin move with coverage. It's when there's coverage, there's no spin move. There's not. They're just like. Yeah. They're just like frozen against the tackles, and the tackle's like, "All right, what are you doing?" Like, I'm waiting for you to do something. Oh, okay, well, we got 7 seconds now. Oh, somebody just got wide open. Crazy. But it's like, when the spin move happens, JC's out here with his back turned to the secondary or to the quarterback, and there's a touchdown.
Now, I will say one thing, just because when we're talking about pass rush and
I should have started the podcast like that. I should have started the podcast
backwards,
back turned to the camera. JC Horn.
Yeah, of course. No, but the one thing I will say, when we played Miami, if you look at it statistically, Tua has the second fastest speed as far as getting the ball out. He gets it out in like 2.5 seconds. So when you play quarterbacks like that, their offense is built to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand extremely fast. So I mean, that will neutralize the majority of any team's pass rush when it comes to consistency.
Dude, he didn't even have to get rid of the ball fast. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's the way
he didn't. I agree, but that's the way their system works.
Waddle was having a field day on JC.
Yeah,
dude, I need Waddle to get traded so bad to the Giants.
Waddle put JC Horn in a blender twice. In a blender.
Waddle is criminally underrated. Let's be real about the situation.
I'm telling you, JC is
get Jackson Dart. Get Jackson Dart, Jalen Waddle, and Malik Neighbors next year, and that team could contend.
JC is criminally overrated. That's what this is. Surtain would at least be on the dude's fucking hip.
Okay, Surtain was a defensive player of the year. JC Horn's not Surtain. We all know this.
I'm just saying. Look, this is the conversation that Panthers, some Panthers fans had JC as one of those top corners in the league. I'm telling you right now, he's
top 15.
Okay, so now he's middle of the pack. See, that's how far he's fallen from grace.
That top 15 of the position is not middle of the pack when every team has at least 2 to 3 corners.
Yes,
but be real. He's still
number one.
Still on the upper end. I mean, at top 15, that's number one on more than half of the league.
Okay.
Yes.
There were guys coming out in their rookie year that I still to this day will say is better when they were coming out of college than JC Horn. I still stand on that. JC Horn is overrated. And it sucks because he is the best corner we have, but we've got a guy who has his back turned to quarterbacks now.
Will
So,
Johnson's not it. Let's just be real.
Will Johnson just got a rib injury. If he was healthy, he would
Will
be
Johnson is not J.C.
rolling.
Horn. We're gonna carve that conversation right back up. J.C. Horn's better than Will Johnson every day.
Brother.
No, I don't think so.
I'm telling you, man.
Will Johnson is a far better corner than J.C. Horn. When it comes to the ability to cover and man, you will die on all hills that you have an opinion on. You're never going to change even if you have all the evidence in front of you that you're wrong, you're not going to change your opinion. That's the craziest part about it. But JC,
changed my opinion.
You will not see Will Johnson being completely squared up like he's a point guard, guarding a point guard, except with his back turned. The dude was parallel with the baseline looking at the
aware.
stands.
I've seen the play like 6 times, dude. I got you. It's bad play.
Oh, my God, bro. I've never. For a guy that's supposed to be this good, I've never seen this. Josh Norman never did shit like that.
Josh Norman in his prime was elite. His prime lasted for 2 years. So
it's 1 year. He had
I
1 year.
get in the first year in Washington, he was pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
He was Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
he was a Pro Bowl corner his first year in Washington.
Yeah.
After that, it was like a cliff, but
I would say the Washington started the regression.
Yeah. Year 2 Washington, he fell off a cliff, dude.
Yeah.
Let's look at this stat just so we can change the subject because that dude's dookie. Let's look at this one.
I just don't know how you can say that if he's in the top. How can you say that he's dookie, though? If he's like, we're talking middle of the pack in the league for number one. I mean, I would. What else? Who else are we getting that's better than JC?
I'm simply saying
he's just mad because we didn't draft Will Johnson.
The second highest paid corner in the league.
He's not.
He's not no more.
He's seventh. I think he's the 7th highest paid.
So there was six other corners that just copied his contract this year. Yeah, I know it was Sauce Gardner. Patrick Surtain got his last year. Sauce got his this year. Patrick Surtain's was last year. Stingley got his. Two people got paid more than him this offseason.
I'm gonna have to pull.
No one else got paid more than him.
Well, guess what? There'll be probably 2 to 3 more that get paid more than him this coming year. We talked about the same thing we talked about with Burns. If you're
I don't know if you want what corners will. Well, the corners are definitely going to use J.C. Horn's contract against him with his performance when they outplay him. He will definitely continue to because they're going to top J.C. Horn's contract unless he picks.
He's currently third
high. Like I told you, that's exactly.
He's at 20. He's at $25 million a year annually. Stingley's at 30, and Sauce Gardner's at 30.
Sauce Gardner, right? As I said, he's the third highest paid corner in the league. Now
Ramsey's 4th.
He reset the market. Okay, they paid him more, and we know how this works.
They paid him $1 million more. They paid him $1 million more than
that's fine. I'm just saying that he is the third highest paid corner in the league, and I do get how everything resets the market, but he should have never been a guy to reset any market. He was never better than Patrick Surtain.
I agree.
He had a good year last year.
Metrically, because our run defense was so fucking shit, nobody had to pass on us.
Well, they
got him the deal,
though. When they did try him, he was there.
Correct.
Fine.
So
again, he's Richard Sherman, and that's not Richard Sherman is again. Yes, he's a Hall of Fame guy, but he's so system driven. This guy is asking the coach. There's a reason Dave Canals didn't hear about it. Dave Canals said, "Fuck no, you're not." Put him back on that side because he knows.
Dave Canals literally said he had no idea that conversation.
He's like, no. Keep him on that left side. We're going cover 3 for the rest of the game. My man's can't cover him. My man's can't cover Pickens.
I definitely don't see JC that bad.
Nah, JC, like I said,
he's me off watching it.
Definitely the top 15 corner.
The dude is in skates anytime he's isolated with someone. There's very few times I've seen him in elite position where, how many interceptions do you have in his career? Like 4? He has like 4 interceptions. I don't
know how many picks he has.
Maybe 3.
I'll pull it up and look. Let's see here.
And we could go through, and it'll be a 20-second highlight reel of J.C. Horn's interceptions because it's so few. And I guarantee there's one that he had that was pretty damn good. He was coming off of zone coverage against Trevor Lawrence, who underthrew, by the way, underthrew Travis Hunter. So asterisk. His interceptions they're not like he is.
He has 6.
Okay. Most of the time, so I wasn't too far off. Most of the time, his plays on the football are not some like crazy good read where he's jumping with his athleticism, his explosiveness, his ability to see what's happening before, his predictability of the play. His is reactionary. Everything is reactionary. It's not about his IQ. He's not winning with IQ. He's not winning knowing what the receiver's route is before the receiver breaks. Those are the ones that are separate. Those are your Darrell Reeveses. Those are your, hate to say it, those are your Will Johnsons. Those are your Patrick Surtains. Those guys can read what's happening before it happens, and they're always in great position on the football. Stingley is the same way. J.C. Horn is not that kind of a corner. He is a cover 3, sit back on his heels. If the ball gets tipped, he might be there. Sometimes he's just there, and it just happens to be a ball thrown right to him. But he's not winning with his ability to read the play, making great breaks. Those plays that he gets are, again, the best one he had was against Jacksonville. That was an underthrow when he was in zone coverage. He was supposed to be there anyway, and he come off and he was beat because he dropped down on the drag, and Trevor Lawrence underthrew it, which gave him an opportunity to make the play on the ball because he already got beat. Travis Hunter took his zone. That was J.C. Horn's zone in that third, and he jumped the drag route and gave the whole field to Travis Hunter. And he only makes a play on that ball because Trevor Lawrence underthrew the football. Like, he's not winning because he made some great play, as in, like, I read what the quarterback was going to do. No, he fucked up, and Trevor Lawrence underthrew it to give him a chance to come back and make it.
You saw that play vastly different than the way I saw it. Because the way I saw it, that wasn't his zone. It wasn't his responsibility. He made a play on a ball in the air. He came out of his area of responsibility.
Panthers' Rico Dowdle had 94 yards after contact yesterday against the Cowboys per PFF. That means he had 89 yards before contact. He had 2.96 yards downfield before any contact against the Cowboys. That Cowboys front seven,
is huge.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, you're getting 3 yards before you're touched. Your run defense is ass.
This is just a perfect segue into why.
Offensive
Look at that guy that's in number 3.
Brady Christensen.
Weird name, right? It's crazy to hear that name.
Not really. I mean, you traded up in the draft to get him.
No, I'm just – when that's the guy, you chose to put a practice squad player over when Robert Hunt got injured. That's the guy who's now 3rd in the league on run block win rate since he's been a starter.
Correct.
74 plays. He's 81% run block win rate. That's the guy that, again, personnel decisions that your coaching staff,
our coaching staff,
decided, to put a practice squad guy that they just elevated from the practice squad that week over when Robert Hunt went down. 3-3, baby. That's why it's awesome to see that we're finally 500, but there's so many things that we still have to work on. Simple as that.
I mean, we're not 6-0. We got a lot of opportunities. We've left a lot on the field.
It's personnel decisions. It's drop pass after drop pass after drop pass. It's fumbles by Bryce Young trying to think he's playing 2K. It's missed opportunities down the sideline from people not putting their feet down, dropped catches on the sideline, blown block assignments, zero pass rush, suspect coverage ability. We've got 2 things going for us right now. Yeah. We've got 2 things going on right now. We have a very, very good run defense. And right now, as of week 6, going on to week 7, we have a very good run offense. And that's the only thing that we can really hold our hat to. So for me, I'm just not satisfied with that. This is, if you put the people in the right position to play football, the best receiving core we've had in Carolina since we had DJ Moore.
That's accurate.
And the fact that they are still fumbling the bag with getting the right personnel out there is the most frustrating thing to watch every Sunday. This guy, Jimmy Hornigan, he should be used like Xavier Worthy is for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't agree with that.
He's got that ability. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there. That's okay. It's absolutely the skill set. The skill set is 100% there. They're essentially the same player.
He has a similar skill set.
Similar, they're the same player.
Small guy, but with what we're trying to do offensively and how our offense is structured.
What are we trying to do offensively?
Run the
I don't think
ball.
they know what we're trying to do offensively.
But they do. What was it? A couple of weeks back, we were playing, and Coach said they're hard to tell because they don't have an identity. Right? We're identifying who we are now. We're going to be a run first team. We're going to be a very run heavy team. Right? That's going to be our identity. In order for us to be successful and continue to win and to make game winning plays, to contend versus teams with all actuality we shouldn't have been contending with, you do that by controlling the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage. We did that in both of the last two games with Miami and with Dallas. We controlled the line of scrimmage. We controlled the run game on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. We won in time of possession, and that's why we won those games. When you look at it, that's this team's identity. They're building an identity that is built to run the ball and run the ball first, run the ball second, make plays when you can from a passing game standpoint, and that's what we're going to be. And then defensively, we're going to make you pass the ball. That's our goal at this point. That's what it looks like, at least through 6 weeks. We're going to make you commit to passing the ball. We're going to try to make plays with no pass rush whatsoever and suspected inconsistencies on the back end when it comes to zone coverage.
Remember when I said that
that's where ball control comes in.
This coaching staff is throw something against the wall until you see it stick.
We'll see how it works.
They quite literally winged it. When I asked you the question, they don't even know what their identity is. They just fumbled into this identity because Rico Dowdle happened to go fucking crazy. They fell into this identity. They were running 5 wide empty sets regularly. They were trying to do the screens that Xavier Leggett couldn't do. They weren't doing the full-on run-heavy stuff. They weren't trying to be what you just described. They fell into
Tampa.
The Dolphins, who was a bottom feeder run defense, and Cowboys bottom feeder run defense. I still don't think we found an identity because I don't think you're going to have 2 of the worst run defenses every single week. As soon as that run defense gets stopped or run offense gets stopped, you're back into, throwing it against the wall till it sticks because they don't know what they want to do. They're not going to commit. When it's your identity, John, if that's your quote-unquote identity, you are the LA Chargers. It doesn't matter if you're down 14, you're running the football. That is what your identity is, and we are absolutely not going to do that. We don't know what we are as an identity. There are teams who quite literally commit to the running game at all stages of football, and they carry with defense. When you're a run first offense, you are carrying with great defense, something we don't have.
I agree.
So we quite literally do not have a run first identity because as soon as we get a team that is competent on all levels of football and can stop the run and have a defense good enough to stop our run, have the team that are good enough to stop our run, and then we can't do the things that we want to do on defense and they can control the clock, we don't stick to that quote-unquote identity. We're going to go to something else because our defense isn't suited to be that quote-unquote run-first identity. They threw something against the wall and it stuck because Rico Dowdle happened to play against 2 really bad run defenses and had a phenomenal 2-game stretch. And that doesn't mean
find out in 2 weeks. I put it that way.
We got the Jets this week. You talking about Green Bay?
Buffalo Bills.
Green Bay is, I thought, in 2 weeks.
No, Buffalo. I'm looking at now. Green Bay's after Buffalo. So we got the Jets this week, and then we got the Buffalo, and then we got at Green Bay.
Well, Falcons just beat Buffalo. Miami almost beat Buffalo. We beat the Falcons. We beat Miami.
We'll see.
But it's going to come down to one of them things that those teams, and Buffalo's also a shit run defense, by the way, throwing that out there. They're fucking horrible. Bijan just cracked almost 200 all-purpose against them. You had Devon Achane 2 weeks ago when they almost beat him. Devon Achane started going nuts against Buffalo. Buffalo's run defense is just as bad, if not as bad, just a little bit better than Miami and the Cowboys. Their run defense is crap, just straight crap. That they literally have Josh Allen. That's about it. Like Dalton Kincaid, but he was hurt last week.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid didn't play this week.
But yeah, they're not even running the ball with James Cook right now. He had a couple weeks, week 1 and week 2, he had a couple strong games, but back to normal James Cook, where he's irrelevant for the most part, for a large part of the time.
Speaking of defenses that may have faced here recently, here's a stat right here, a defensive 3-and-out rate. If you look down there toward the very end,
Miami and Dallas.
You see Miami, you see Dallas there.
Exactly.
So that, to what Dean's saying, I do think I am interested to see what's going to happen going forward. Where's the Jets at on this? They are up to the top. So we'll be able to see this week what that's going to look like. When you consider that we're still struggling to complete passes downfield at a regular basis because wide receiver being a big deal.
Not drawing up plays vertical, which is why I say Jimmy Horn should be on the field.
Play scheme, okay.
The whole point in my rant.
Are we going to be able to run the ball?
Ability to throw a ball vertically, but we're not going to go there.
No, we can go there, but
there's a lot of that. There's any of that stuff because it hasn't been shown. So it hasn't been on the field. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. There's a good possibility we go and we give the Jets their first win. Mm-hmm. Because the only thing has there been any update on Garrett Wilson?
Garrett Wilson's out for multiple weeks.
Okay. So if he's out, that really takes away any passing threat they have.
Justin Field took away any passing threat they have. That dude's so damn inconsistent.
Yeah, but he could also
big athlete though.
Big plays. Big plays is all you need, and especially when we're seeing, the floodgates opening at times with Pickens and all that. There's guys that can get open, and Fields can find open guys as open as some of these guys have been.
I'll be the outlier and say this: Pickens is arguably just as good, if not better, than Wilson. So, I'll go that far and say that Pickens is a legitimate wide receiver 1, in my opinion. So him getting open versus our defense, not that shocking. Waddle, again, I think is criminally underrated. I think he's a legitimate wide receiver 1 on more than half of the teams in the league, and he's gonna get his. Like that those things happen. This week's gonna be interesting. I agree. Defensively, the Jets are pretty sound. They went toe-to-toe with the Bucs again. One of those games where the Bucs blocked the field goal, returned it to win a game. Right? Things like that happen. Not very often, but they do happen. So this week is interesting. I do think we should win this game. I don't think this is a situation where I would say, hey, the Panthers are favored to lose, or people don't think the Panthers can go to New York and actually win a football game. This is a very winnable game for the Panthers. But like I said, the next 2 weeks after that, we're really going to figure out what this team is, right? If we can go in and we can go toe-to-toe with Buffalo, and we can go toe-to-toe with Green Bay, then we're really talking about, okay, is this a contending team? Is this a true contending team in the NFC South? Or is this, again, this same old Carolina Panthers where we're going to finish with a potential top 10 pick? We'll be able to get a very good snapshot of what this is going to look like over the next 3 weeks.
We're not going to be able to compete with those guys if we continue to fail to put the guys in the position to play football.
I agree.
You can't. I know we went on this whole rant about what this team isn't built for, whatever, and you had your whole – I can't even think of the fucking word right now, where you went off about this is how they're built, this is what their game plan is, this is what their identity. No, none of that's fucking real. We play 2 shit run defenses, and it's a it's not going to be a consistent week in and week out deal. To say that that's why they're not putting Jimmy Horn out there is the weakest argument. Jimmy Horn
I'm not saying
should be
that's
out
why
there
they haven't
every
put him out.
week in a top 3 over Renfro.
I
He
completely
should
disagree.
be as a number 3, and he should be stretching defenses, getting vertical, and opening the things up underneath. He should be used exactly like Xavier Worthy. They are the same player. You
But he's
open
not-
up the
he's
defense.
not
They
the
100%.
same level of capability as an Xavier Worthy.
You're
He's
really
a six-round pick for a
saying
reason. When he was drafted, people thought he was drafted for the return game.
he was drafted the way that he drafted because Shador would not throw to anyone else but Travis Hunter
That's not correct. He had over 900 receiving yards.
because he's always open. But the target share was not
900 yards
there. The target share was not there. Like, he has the skill set to get vertical. He has a skill set to win across the middle. He has a skill set to win in the screen game, the sweep game, the dig routes, the seam routes. He has the ability to do everything you need in a receiver outside of a 50-50 ball and double coverage. But if you put him out wide, he can win vertical. He can be that mismatch that opens the offense up. Even if he's a decoy, you see decoys all the time. Jordan Addison is a decoy 90% of the time.
He was a 17.4% target share in college.
Right. And Hunter was like 34, 35, if not more.
Hunter's elite is the reason why Travis Hunter was drafted 102.
They just threw it to him in double coverage. It just, they were spamming it. There's a reason Shador fell in the draft because clearly he didn't have the IQ to throw to the right guy.
Not
Jimmy Horn was wide open.
He fell in the draft for a lot of reasons, but I ain't gonna say that was the reason.
Anyway, personnel decisions are a big issue. That's going to be a continuing issue until they start to make the right choices. That's all this is about.
So what do you think our decisions will be now that Pat Jones is ruled out for the season with a back injury?
We'll see.
Scorton's going to start.
It should. We'll see. They might bring up another practice squad player. We'll see.
Might bring DJ Johnson back, right?
Yeah, bring DJ
they might
back.
sign him to a 1 week deal so we can get a start out of him. That's the trend. That's the trend we have. Again, personnel decisions are piss poor. Like, they don't know what their identity is. I still don't know what our identity is. Just because we've had 2 crazy good games because Rico Dowdle went freak mode against 2 of the worst run defenses in the NFL, that doesn't make that our identity. There's still so much sloppy football going on. And again, they're rolling dice. They're just like, well, it works. I guess we're just going to keep doing that. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They have no identity. They have no idea what they want to do.
They do want to run the football, but I don't think that their intent was what they've done the past 2 weeks. Like, I don't think – well, I should say their intent was that, but that's not going to be a realistic approach to me every week.
No, you're not going to run for that much every week.
Right.
You're not going to come close every week.
And here's the thing, too. I know a lot of people are saying wanting Rico to be the lead back now just because he's had these 2 big weeks. But, again, I would go back to, again, look at the 2 run defenses we faced, and sort of just lined up that it just was good timing for Rico himself to get out there and do these. And it was a heavy relying on him in the run game to get us through. And it just so happened that we were able to stifle these offenses, the other offenses, enough to keep us in the game. We could continue to do that. Now, if we get down, we get behind,
what happens.
That game plan is out the window. The only reason
out the window.
This is what they want to do. This is what any team wants to do. They want to run the football.
They want to
keep the other team down. And so they've been able to stay in that game plan. But the problem is when we've really fallen behind, what happened in New England? We got behind. We couldn't stay with them.
Right. Why? Because you don't have a vertical threat. And you have everything cutting inside, stop routes, short, shallow routes. You have nothing vertical. You can't run vertical routes if you have nothing that can get vertical. It's not that difficult. He's not the fastest guy. Yeah, a 50-50 ball. It's Drake London. But we're talking about someone who will scare the secondary. He's not burning anybody. He hasn't done it yet. He's run vertical routes, and there's always guys on his hips. I'm simply saying, I understand you love Ted McMillan. You've got to be realistic.
Look at the name on the back of your jersey. That's the problem with your vertical game.
Has nothing to do with the vertical. It has nothing to do with the vertical game. They do not have the personnel to get vertical. When you have speed guys,
we have Jimmy Horn. He can get vertical. He can stretch the defense.
How
agree
much
with
does
you.
he play on the field?
He has speed. He runs a 4.3. I get all of that. But if you look at the overall complexity of the work over the last 3 years with Bryce Young, we have been notorious for not stretching the ball vertically. We just don't do it. He's inconsistent when it comes to his vertical pass attempts, and he's either going to duck it, throw it 10 yards out of bounds, or he's going to throw a fucking pick.
Who does he have that gets vertical?
He's going to throw a great ball.
Who does he have that can get vertical?
Any receiver can get vertical. It's the route option. It's the play design.
So
all of this factor into it.
Was he inaccurate against the Eagles?
Take shots.
Was he inaccurate on the game-winning touchdown pass that was 50 yards in the air to Xavier Leggett against the Super Bowl champs last year?
Consistency.
That it goes across the board, John. It's consistency of the receivers getting fucking open.
I agree. I'm not saying it's not.
And it's also the consistency of the coaches calling it.
He's shown consistently that he's not willing to take deep shots consistently.
Has nothing to do with his willingness to do it. That's
See,
what
my thing is, I feel we haven't seen enough opportunity for any of that either.
Right.
So that's what my thing is. I just don't feel like we've seen enough opportunity to judge Bryce's deep ball. Or at least that's where my problem comes down to.
You can't consistently just blame the quarterback when the calls are being called. I'm going to have you sign into my All-22. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many years. What are they calling on the play?
They're calling.
Are they calling digs? Are they calling stops? Are they calling slants? Are they calling fucking four verts?
They're calling the routes that he can hit.
That has nothing to do with it. You're literally saying that
everything to do.
You're saying that you're literally trying to say that they are only doing what they know Bryce is only capable of doing. That is so fucking ridiculous.
They're doing what their quarterback can do.
No, it's bad.
I mean, most of his first year, all we saw were curls and outs.
Yes, 5 yards or less.
That's pretty much all we saw.
I can't pull up a statistic because I'm pretty sure.
Also, who did he have in his first year?
I understand it.
Everybody he had in his first year are no longer rostered in the NFL, except for Adam Thielen.
In my opinion,
maybe that's why they were running hitches.
In my opinion, 80% or less of his routes are beyond 5 yards.
I cannot wait, bro. This is 3 years of me repeating myself. I cannot wait for them to activate Jimmy Horn and actually make him a threat on the offense so y'all can see how consistently he will hit that if they fucking call the routes.
You know what? I'd love to fucking see it, but I
would.
So.
I know.
We've seen it in 3 years.
We saw it against Philadelphia, and the guy dropped it. We've seen it with DJ Chark on the sideline. He's made game-winning touchdowns going vertical. We saw it with Jalen Coker last year against the number one defense going vertical down the sideline where he catches it in tight traffic. We've seen it time and time again. It's just we don't call it enough.
In 3 years.
There's so much more. I just did that in 20 seconds. Like there's no reason for me to go through and I can go and take my time and grab all of his deep balls, and there's going to be a YouTube video, and we can sit on this podcast, and I can just see him screen share all the deep throws that he's thrown. But you can't help when every receiver that he's ever had on his fucking rosters are no longer playing on NFL teams until this year. His best player on his team is number 4 for his current team.
I can only judge him on what he's done, and it ain't there on him right now. It hadn't, whether that's him, whether that's the situation and the players, it's just not there. And the thing is, it's few and far in between.
When he throws it, when they draw the plays up and the guys win vertically and they're not getting double teamed because it's not a predictable 4 verts, when it's something that they actually draw up right, when he throws those, they're accurate. The guys are the ones that are dropping or sometimes catching. Again, the Saints game, he throws over the top to Xavier Leggett, beautiful pass, vertical. He ran a 9 round down the sideline, catches it over top and lets the corner just take it out of his hands. We've seen it time and time again. DJ Chark, he's hit that sideline pass to DJ Chark his whole rookie year. 4 times.
Pass for DJ Chark like 2 or 3 times the whole damn year.
No,
that's
because DJ Chark dropped like 3 of them.
Often.
I'm
you
saying
can count on 3 fingers the number of times that dude passes the ball 20 yards downfield a game.
When you watch y'all 22, you can't help it when they run a 3-step drop and everybody's going underneath.
Offense is catered to what he's capable of doing. That's my point. He ain't
so
Josh
crazy.
Allen. He ain't going to go uncork an 80-yard ball down the field. It ain't happening. It's not his game.
Boy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
he also does not have the time that I watch some of these other games and quarterbacks are just back there stationary.
Have time. You're trying to say they're trying to cater something to him. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the personnel.
I watch other games and I'm like, man, I can't believe it. Why is he still holding the ball? Why is he still holding the ball? And then you look at the pocket and it's like, it's
so frustrating.
This is so odd that the quarterback has this much time to throw. So I can definitely recognize that
you have to have time.
All 3 of us understand it. We're not.
I will say this. If anything, the reason we don't throw vertical is because they know they're not going to have time for this thing to get set up. If anything, and it's not a knock on Bryce. It's personnel, but Bryce has shown that he hits those. He did it against Tampa Bay. See, I'm still giving more examples. He did it against Tampa Bay in a game winner that should have been a game winner to Adam Thielen up the seam. Like, these are just things that are popping into my head. If I have a fucking Rolodex here and I could show you how many times he's accurately hit these passes, it has nothing to do with him not being capable of doing it. He doesn't have the opportunity with time in the pocket, people not getting vertical. Guys, just the scheme has to cater to how much time he has in the pocket. A 2-step drop, cool. We got to run shallow shit. We can't run the football. We got to go throw quick stuff. We don't have the personnel with 4.3 speed to get vertical. They take too long to get off the line of scrimmage, so they can't get past the corner and zone coverage. So there's things that the limitations of the receiving core, limitations of the time in the pocket is keeping the quarterback down. There are things that are going on in our personnel and personnel decisions and roster makeup because we are in a really bad team. Simply put, it's a bad team that keep the quarterback forced to play a certain way. It's not they are catering to what Bryce's strengths are. Bryce can zip that shit clearly because Tet keeps dropping the fucking things that are going right in his face mask, going right through his hands. Maybe he's got a little bit stronger arm than people think he does because he continues to drop. This guy with the elite hands continues to drop. And I'm saying elite, and I'm the one who says he's got them. But he's dropping these passes time and time again. Our receivers keep dropping passes time and time again. Let's go another example that just popped in my head. Jatavion Sanders on wheel routes. He's coming down the sideline, beating people deep. He's dropping the passes. You cannot get vertical when the personnel do not finish plays and when the personnel themselves cannot get vertical. And so what does the coach have to do? They can't call vertical shots because the guys can't get fucking vertical. It has nothing to do with the limitations of said quarterback not being able to throw the ball vertical.
So let me give you some limitation of Bryce. The one limitation is he's not as good passing out of the under center as he is in the shotgun. So we have to –
Peyton Manning was too.
But we have to modify the run game for Bryce – to run in the shotgun, and the run is not as effective in the shotgun.
Peyton Manning
we run better. We run better when Bryce is under center, but yet he can't throw from under center.
He plays just play action all the time.
Hardly.
Yes, but
if you
Bryce
watch
is at
him,
his best when he's on the move outside of the pocket. When he can do that improvisation, when he can anticipate throwing a ball on a line or on a rope 10 yards downfield, because it's about as far as he's going to fucking throw it. But hey, like he said, I agree with Seth. Seth's got a very valid point. How often do you see Bryce Young go under center and actually throw a ball?
How often did you see Peyton Manning go behind center? He almost got a head coach fired because he didn't want to go behind center. Some quarterbacks just feel more comfortable in the shotgun.
Bryce Young
we don't know because clearly we run the hurry-up offense pretty damn efficiently, and that's Bryce Young calling the plays. How many hurry-up offenses have we seen where we just dunk and dink and just pick defenses apart when Bryce is calling his fucking plays? We can say he's not Peyton Manning, but he's very efficient in the hurry-up.
Dave Canales.
In the hurry-up, he is. He's throwing the numbers out.
Dave Canales calls every one of those plays.
When you're in the hurry up, you're not the quarterback.
Dave
The
Canales
coach is
calls
not
every
calling
one of those
plays.
plays. That mic goes live in his headset at the conclusion of the play, and it is live until you get down to the 15-second mark. Every one of the plays.
The balls are getting snapped at like 20 seconds in the hurry up.
That's my point. The whole time, the coach is still live mic.
He's going in and he's reading defenses and he's making his play calls in hurry up offense.
Bryce Young ain't making a play call, dude.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. I beg to differ on
It's
that
okay.
one. Bryce Young's not calling the plays.
It's okay. You hate the guy.
I don't. I think he has some limitations that limit the ability for offense to be successful in the NFL. I do. I've made that abundantly clear.
Bryce Young has elevated the team that is one of the worst rosters in the NFL. We shouldn't be 3-3. I'm sorry. We have one of the worst rosters in the league. But we're 3-3 somehow.
Well, call the Dolphins and the Cowboys and tell them we'll give them back then. I mean, what do you want us to do about it? I don't know.
He's elevating.
You play who you're scheduled, and you either win or you lose. We're 3-3. Whether you think we should be 3-3.
I think the Atlanta game was a complete farce. I think the Atlanta game was a complete farce. That game 30-0, looking at that score, that's completely ridiculous. Because that game was nowhere near 30-0.
No.
Agreed.
No, you're right. It was closer than that. There was some fluky plays. Defensive breaks, interceptions, panics, playing just really bad, giving us the game.
They looked ill prepared to play football on that day. The entire Atlanta team, offensively and defensively and special teams plus, they look terrible. It happens.
So I'm trying to read this graph correctly. Is the left the worst?
Yes, I believe so. Offensive 3-and-out rate. 3-and-out
we're
rates
at like 20%.
Any series or drive that results in a turnover or failure to gain a first down or touchdown, the Eagles are the worst in the league at almost 45%.
And the
That
Panthers
does sound pretty damn accurate.
Top 4 in the league.
And you want to know why? Because they've run the ball
For the past 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, that'll outline and
The
skew
first 4
results.
weeks, the first 4 weeks, we could hardly get anything going in the run game. Just in these past 2 weeks.
And we were picking up first downs on literally every possession.
No, I mean the past 2 weeks we've ran at will against those shit defenses. Yeah, they've been dookie.
Well,
go ahead.
We did. I mean, we have had some sustained drives. We just haven't capitalized and scored on all of them. We missed multiple field goals early in the year,
Correct.
even though we were driving.
Prime example, if you look at the first drive last week, we ended up settling for a field goal.
Right. Yeah.
We should have scored a touchdown on that drive.
Right.
Yeah, I think Fitzpatrick is like top 10 in kickers right now.
Fitzgerald, yeah.
Fitzgerald, always.
I say
yeah.
I do the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's easy to flip that one.
So I think there has been a lot more sustained drives because last year was a lot of 3 and out,
Yes.
I mean, just repeated.
And it's not just been the running game. Like it's this past 2 weeks has been the running game. The first 4 weeks we were having to throw the football regularly. So again, like,
and this, like it says at the top,
well.
includes turnovers and all that. So
yeah, we're top 4 in the league. So that's pretty good. I'll take that. So I mean, with the personnel we have on that offense and the drops and all that stuff that's been going on, top 4. I'll take that every day of the week. Sounds to me like a quarterback's elevating our offense. But anyway, let's
like
get
I said,
to our picks.
that's one part of a drive. That's a 3-and-out.
Let's get to our pick'ems. Last week was a little bit of a funky week. John and Seth went 3-3. Myself, I went 2-4. James went 1-5. It brings our total on the year at John 22-14, myself at 20-16, Seth at 14-22, and James at 12-24. So here we are this week. John, you're in the lead, so you get to tell us your game of the week and who you've got.
This week's going to be an interesting week. Obviously, we got teams on bye weeks, whatnot. But I went with the Eagles. They're coming off of back-to-back losses, a very ugly loss to the Giants on Thursday Night Football, one that we all called wrong, right? We all thought the Eagles were going to pretty much win and dominate that game.
Yeah.
And, the Giants actually ended up dominating that game. But the Eagles are playing at Minnesota. Very interesting matchup. Going to be interesting to see who starts at quarterback for Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy is back at practice this week. So we may not get the Carson Wentz versus the Eagles cinema as far as, him playing the team that drafted him, him playing a team that he should have won an MVP on. And he won a Super Bowl, but unfortunately he blew out his knee, and Nick Foles got the job done for him. So for me right now, this is a gut check time for the Eagles. This is where they have to show the resilience of a champion, especially if they really want to be considered as contenders to go back-to-back. I do think the Eagles are going to get the job done this week. I think that right now I just don't trust the situation with Minnesota. The running game is inconsistent. They've lost, I think, like 4 fumbles over the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been turning the ball over a lot, fumbling. And then, like I said, when it comes to the quarterback situation, Wentz loves to throw the ball. I think Wentz has excelled in his opportunity to play. And then with JJ, I'm sorry, I don't think JJ is good. I think JJ's struggled mightily with the speed of the game. I know he had a high ankle sprain, so we'll see if he actually gets out there and plays this week. I think he does. And I think the Eagles are going to be able to take advantage of an inexperienced quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. They're going to win the turnover battle, and they're going to leave Minnesota with a win.
Okay, Seth?
I'm going to go Eagles. I don't with the quarterback situation with Minnesota, Eagles coming off that loss, even though they're playing in Minnesota, coming back from the overseas tour, I still think the Eagles are going to get them here.
Okay, I'm trying to see 2 weeks ago who the Eagles lost to as well. So they lost to the Denver Broncos and the Giants, both of which have decent defenses. Giants have a pretty good pass rush. Denver, number 1 defense in the league. Minnesota, they also have a very good pass rush.
They do.
The big thing that's going on with the Eagles is they can't get Saquon moving, and Jalen Hurts is just not the type of quarterback to be able to actually throw a game and actually play football outside of Super Bowl games. It seems that this dude's arm talent is only meant for Super Bowl games, because outside of those Super Bowl games, this dude needs a running game. And if it's not there, then he has to run with his own legs. If they play contain, then he's forced to throw. And that is not a pretty sight.
He looked pretty so far, that's for sure.
It's been like that for pretty much his entire career. Like, that is a liability at passing. That's one that you can give an example of. Very few times he's been actually accurate as a passer for a consistent game. Minnesota, one of the biggest rush defenses in the league. They will rush 6 every freaking play if Brian Flores had the decision to do so, or was making the decision to do so. But also, we looked at those pass rush metrics, and they're the number 1 pass rush without a blitz. So outside, number 2, because Denver was number 1. Wentz is the full participant at practice this week. They still have Addison. They still have Justin Jefferson. I was leaning Eagles here, but Minnesota, to me, they are built very similarly with better talent offensively than Denver and the New York Giants. Their defenses are pretty much the same in my book. They're on a 3-game stretch that's, pretty rough defensive battle they got to go up against, defensive opponents, I should say. And I'm gonna be the lone wolf here. I'm gonna go with Vikings. I'm not too confident with this one. I'm gonna definitely put that asterisk out there, but for me, I'm thinking Wentz is playing, and Wentz has been playing pretty well. He was a full participant this week, and he was the main. He had most of the snaps, and today was the first practice for J.J. McCarthy at a limited basis. They're not going to rush him back in after a limited Wednesday practice, especially because Wentz is not playing that freaking horrible. So That brings me to my game. I've got the Commanders and the Cowboys. Kind of a tough one, but Cowboys offense is pretty potent. CeeDee Lamb looks like he's going to be back this week with the ankle issue that he had. Bill got stuffed this week by the Bears defense. That Bears defense is insane. That run defense is elite. The Commanders offense right now is just not doing too hot. Like Terry McLaurin has not been playing yet. He's been out for pretty much, since week one.
I think he's only played 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, like week 1, week 2, he's been out.
He was practicing this week, so he might be back. We'll see.
Okay. Even with that, Commanders defense has not looked all that great either. Yeah, it's just Commanders to me, even though the Cowboys are crap on defense, this is going to be one of those shootout games, and it's going to come down to which offense is going to be more explosive. And I think the Cowboys have more explosive playability, and they're just kind of catching rhythm. I know CeeDee Lamb's going to come back and take over that number 1, but that week 1 and week 2 stretch that the Cowboys had, Pickens had many opportunities to take over the game, even as the number 2, and was just dropping it. Or he was just flopping, looking for a flag. I think these few weeks without CD, he's gotten the opportunity to kind of just get his feet under him in this offense. He's going to be fine as a number 2. They still were drawing up plenty of opportunities for him as the number 2. I think the Cowboys take this one, even without CeeDee Lamb. But if they have CeeDee Lamb, it's just going to be more fuel for them to just more options to throw to. And Javonte Williams is going to eat. Like, he's going to eat. I know he didn't do it against us. Our run defense looks pretty daggone good right now for the past couple of weeks. So I think Javonte Williams gets back in rhythm. Ferguson's having a career year. Dak's cooking. CeeDee Lamb's playing great. Dude, that whole offense is just looking great. So I'm going to go Cowboys here.
Seth, what's your thoughts?
What's the latest on McLaurin?
He should play this week. He practiced today. They said he looks to play this week. We'll see. He could have a setback, so you never know.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna pick the Commanders.
He was limited. Yep, quadricep was limited in return to practice Wednesday. Program chef ESPN. It's good news to see McLaurin back in practice field. Even the Commanders only had a walkthrough session. The 30-year-old veteran has missed the team's last 3 games due to pretty serious quad injury, and he's still up in the air as to whether he'll be able to play this weekend versus the division rivals Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. McLaurin could have his snaps limited in his return in Week 7 too. So he's still a pretty dicey fantasy option with managers shouldn't be counting on. Washington put Noah Brown, who has a groin and knee, on injury reserve, and Deebo Sanders' heel was less than 100% in Monday's loss to Chicago Bears. So the team's wide receiver core is pretty banged up, and McLaurin misses another game. Both Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane will see more opportunities in the passing game. So their entire offense is injured right now. So
I'm going with Commanders.
Okay.
I'm going to say Jaden Daniels is the difference. Jaden Daniels is the difference. God, yeah, I guess I'm just going Commanders. I don't know.
I'm going with the Commanders too. I think the Commanders are going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be as close, and I really don't think it's going to be a shootout. That's just my personal thought process on this game specifically. Realistically, I do think McLaurin is going to play. I don't think he's going to be significantly impactful when he plays. We'll see. I think he'll be on a snap count. He'll probably play, 48, 55% of the snaps. We'll see how that goes. But I do think, realistically speaking, this is going to be where the defense makes the differential. So for me, I think Frankie Louvu's going to step up. I think Frankie Louvu's going to have a really good game. Wagner, dude, is fucking ageless. Like, I don't understand how the hell he can continue to play at an all-pro level. I think he's like 34, 35 years old now. So we'll see how it goes. I do think Washington pulls this game out. I think Jaden Daniels, like Seth said, is going to be the difference maker on that. But we'll see. But for me, I think it's going to come down offensively to the running game. And I think Jaden Daniels' impact to have an impact on the running game is really where we're going to make a difference. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm taking the Commanders.
Past 2 games, James picked the Eagles and the Cowboys for this game. So, Seth, that brings you to your game of the week. Who do you got?
I'm going with Colts and Chargers. I do want to say this. I was going to go with the Germany game, the Rams and
9
Jacksonville.
a.m., baby.
But I hate these overseas games. I think it's horrible football. I don't know if the players even care to go over there, and I'm tired of the international spin and outreach of the NFL. This is America's game, and we should keep it America's game. Keep it on our continent for sure.
So, big note, Seth is not for a Super Bowl overseas.
Yeah, damn right.
You shouldn't give us your
Oh yeah,
pick.
still my game is actually the Colts, Colts Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going with the Colts here. The Chargers sort of fell apart. A lot of injuries, stuff going on. If this had been more of a healthy matchup, I probably would have went at the time when I originally done my. Well, I had the Colts last in this division, so definitely had the Chargers taking this one. So I just think the Colts, man, they are completely night and day from what they were last year. There's been one big change, and it's made a whole hell of a lot of difference. Probably saved a coach's job, and
Would you say it was because of the quarterback?
it was definitely because of the personnel decisions
There you go.
being made.
The general manager making some.
But Colts for me in this one because of injury and depletion to Chargers right now.
Okay. John?
Okay. No, I'm still taking the Chargers. The Colts are a feel-good story. I think they're severely overachieving. Daniel Jones has been playing very good football. He's been protecting the ball, which I think has been very important. He has had, I think, 3 turnovers in the last 2 games. So the turnovers are starting to show up just like they used to. And there's a reason why he's Danny Dimes, right? He's going to give you some great plays, and he's going to give you some stinkers, and he's going to turn the ball over. The Chargers, for me, I think they're in a position where they really need to reassert their dominance. Seth did point out they do have a lot of injuries. Quentin Johnston missed last week. They've had plethora of injuries at the running back. Both of their top 2 running backs are out on IR. One's done for the year with Najee. Hampton hopefully will be back in about a month or so. We'll see how that goes. He has a high ankle sprain, so it's kind of hard to tell, especially with the running back position, how a high ankle sprain is going to impact him because it does significantly hamper their ability to make cuts and to get vertical. So we'll see how that goes long term. But the Chargers, for me, I just think they have too much manpower offensively. I think they need to let Justin Herbert go out there and rip the ball. This is a team where I think, similar to our identity crisis, I think they're dealing with a little bit of their own identity crisis. They're trying to commit to running the ball. They don't really have the personnel to do it. So for Harbaugh, it's a little bit of a philosophy change. He needs to be able to go out there and let Justin Herbert rip that rock and let Justin Herbert go out there and throw for 400 fucking yards this week versus the Colts. I think he's more than capable of doing it. I think they have the skill positions offensively to be able to do that. And I'm going to pick the Chargers to win this game.
So what I heard was
They did not. Bold prediction. Daniel Jones has 3 turnovers this week. Put a number on it.
I like the fact that Jonathan Taylor is having a huge season right now. And I mean the Chargers last week, my camera just got all blurry doing that.
Yeah, your shit's
I'm gonna have to remove my camera and then get back in here. But maybe you can still hear me. Let me see. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, we still hear you.
Good. Yeah, no, the stuff that we're seeing out of Jonathan Taylor is insane. Like he's having a very, very good year. This is the stuff we've been missing. He's back to his prime. Those near 2,000-yard seasons. I mean, this dude's been all-purpose, of course, because he's a great receiving back as well. But last week the Chargers got ran all over. I mean, they got ran all over. Jonathan Taylor, the Chargers are showing when they can't keep the ball on offense and that defense gets tired, there's weakness there. I do like the weapons around Daniel Jones when it comes to Pittman and Adonai, even though Adonai Mitchell was a healthy scratch last week, unfortunately. They got Alec Pierce back. You have Josh Downs doing great, and Warren is doing really, really well, having a great rookie season. O-line is there. Everything's there. The offense is all there. The strength of the Chargers is defense, but if that offense can't get the ball moving with that running game that they have, I mean, Vidal had a great week last week running the ball. Overall, I mean, you're going into a game with Vidal. Like, you gotta be flawless in the running game again this week to even stand a chance, because that's how they're built. Hopefully, you can see some help.
Toss that rock, baby.
We'll see. I mean, personnel got to get open. We'll give them a pass, but not our own quarterback. But personnel matters, and when those guys are hurt and not able to get separation, you're limited on being able to do that. I just want consistency in that. But yeah, so with that, I'm going with the Colts. Colts win this game. I think it'll be close, because the Chargers are just going to keep it close. They have a great run defense, so the Chargers will definitely keep this one close. But James's game of the week here is the Giants and the Broncos. He did pick the Broncos. I am also just going to go ahead and just pick the Broncos. The defense is insane. Jackson Dart, I mean, he doesn't really have anybody to throw the ball to, really. I mean, he's got Robinson, but that's about it. The running game is you got Scatterbo, caught Eagles off guard. But this is the Broncos defense. And now they've got a week of film to see what Scatterbo is going to do in the goal line. And they're going to go keep them out of the red zone. Just simple as that. They're not going to give them those short yardage situations. They're going to stack the box early. They're going to force Jackson Dart to beat them, and they have a great pass rush. They don't have to send but 4, and they will still get there. Broncos are going to dominate this game. The Eagles should have been in that situation last week to dominate this game, but they just sleeping at the wheel. I don't know what's going on in Philly right now. They should have never been in the situation to lose this game last week, but here we are. So,
a Super Bowl hangover. It's a real thing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they can bounce back, but they're all arguing now. Saquon's arguing with them. This is looking like the Miami Dolphins, where now Tua goes up to the mic and says, "Oh, guys aren't showing up to players
only meeting."
Yeah, so you're starting to have similar stuff like that. They're on the sideline lecturing each other about getting the ball and what they're supposed to do, and they're falling apart right now. There's a lot of things going on there, but yeah. With that going on, yes, it gave the chance for a big power back like Scatterbo to go and wreak havoc on that defense. So this is not going to be one of those situations. So I got Broncos.
I'm right there with you. I don't know if Seth's going to pick the Broncos, but I'm pretty sure this might be a clean sweep. Don't get me wrong. New York looked good last week, right? They excelled. They protected the ball. Jackson Dart did what Jackson Dart needed to do to win a game, and they relied heavily upon a running game. Scatterbo, I think he had 3 touchdowns rushing. You don't typically win when you give up that much on the ground, regardless whether you're at home or not. So for me, I think it was an opportunity. It was a good opportunity on a short week for the Giants to take advantage of a situation where the Eagles' best defensive player wasn't playing. But when it comes down to this game, it's like you said, it's number one defense versus offenses being ran by rookies and a head coach that should have been fired last year. So when you look at it from that terms, I'm definitely going to go with the number one defense. I'm going to go with Sean Payton. He's going to go in, he's going to get the job done this week, and he's going to give the Giants a reality check.
Okay. Seth?
Yeah, I can't add anything else. That's number one defense, rookie quarterback.
Okay.
That's all she wrote. And it's in Denver.
Who's ready? Yeah, it's in Denver. That doesn't help either.
Right. Thursday night game is the Steelers versus the Bengals. James has the Steelers, and I'm going to just let one of y'all go first. John.
I'll take it. It's Joe Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers in a quarterback battle that was meant to happen 15 years ago. Dude, you're talking about 2 old QBs. The difference is Aaron Rodgers is actually still a good quarterback. Joe Flacco has been a turnover machine. He's been a check down machine. I think he's thrown more passes to running backs than any quarterback in the NFL so far this season. And that includes his time prior to when he was playing with the Browns. So for this one, like I'm not entertained. I don't think this is going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be something you should stay up to watch the ending for. I think the Steelers are going to run away with it pretty handily.
Okay, Seth.
Yeah, in this grumpier old men 3, the Steelers are going to get the win. I say that. I think I'm older than both of them by like a year. But Steelers will win. Defense is the difference.
Yeah. Steelers defense is still.
Steelers have it. Bengals won it.
Yeah.
Bengals damn sure don't have defense.
No. Excuse me. The only reason I'm hesitant here is Joe Flacco is not afraid to rip the football. Like, he will throw that ball 50 yards down the field in any given play.
Yeah.
And they've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. There's a reason why they were in that game last week. That catch that Chase had over that defender, one-handed, cuts in front of him, and just – that ball was bad. That was an underthrow. Mm-hmm. And the receiver personnel saved the quarterback from what would have been an easy interception and made it a touchdown instead. Okay. The Steelers defense is pretty solid. Their secondary, I'm not too worried about their secondary. I think Chase can kind of expose that. I think Higgins can expose that. But defensively, there's enough potential pressure to really kind of disrupt Rodgers. I just think the Bengals offense, even with Flacco, is potentially going to be too much. I mean, if it wasn't for Browning throwing like 6 interceptions, he led. I
think it was more than that.
Browning led the league in interceptions in 3 weeks. Even with that, they were still in games.
Well, no, I think Geno still leads. Geno's already hit double digits.
Well, he's played every game of the season. He played every game of the season as a starter.
2 games with 3 interceptions and then 1 with 2.
Right. So he had like 8 interceptions in 3 weeks.
He definitely had the most over that course.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
3 weeks.
And Flacco's not going to throw the damn interceptions that frequently, and he hasn't. He hasn't done that. I mean, I know this isn't a popular one. I was stumped because of Chase. I originally, my gut wanted to go Steelers, but I do think that there is a true there's a major benefit to have a receiver like Chase and Higgins. They can make things happen when there's nothing there. I mean,
I would hope when you're paying them $70 million between the two of them.
So I do think the defense is – I mean, I just don't like Metcalf that much, to be honest with you. I don't think
Metcalf's having a good season so far.
He's having a decent season. He's having a Metcalf season. It's not like he's out here breaking stats. I mean, he's having a Metcalf season. He's using his body, his size to kind of just get into the right positions, which is what he's supposed to do. You know, things that Leggett should be able to do, but he's not.
Yeah, imagine Pickens there still.
I know,
right, dude. The
actual route runner.
Yeah.
He was such a locker room head case. I mean, they were just like, we're done.
Yeah, they were done with it. they definitely would go give him a contract extension. That's for sure.
Similar to my Cowboys one, I'm not super confident in this one, but I'm just going to go with the player, the star talent, and Flacco has shown when he was with the Browns that he can get rhythm, and when he starts to get moving again, that he can catch stride and really take over a game, which is crazy to say because he's really old.
Should have traded for Jameis.
They definitely should change. Bengals would be an easy dub.
That shit would be the fucking greatest shit, man. Dude.
Yes. So it brings us to the Panthers versus the Jets. Okay, James got the Panthers this week. Seth, who do you got here?
Man, it's tough. Like I was talking about, I don't think we match up the best with them. I hate to say this. I'm just going to say Jets.
Okay. I just think you got the Panthers.
Oh, yeah. I think Carolina's going to win this game. I took him last week versus Dallas. Dallas has a significantly better offense. We were able to go toe-to-toe offensively with Dallas. We were able to convert. We were able to control line of scrimmage again. And we were able to make plays. And we scored 30-plus points. And for us, that's a damn accomplishment. Sad to say, but realistically, that's a damn accomplishment when it comes to Carolina Panthers football over the last 3 to 4 years. We don't really ever score 30 points. I think we've done it maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 4 seasons combined.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a big step in the right direction. Again, defensively, this is a team that I do feel confident can battle up that run with Breece Hall. The Jets' offense has been inconsistent when it comes to running the ball. And at the end of the day, we are playing against Justin Fields. Justin Fields is hit and miss as you can get with a quarterback. And the fact that he doesn't have his number 1 wide receiver this week with Wilson, I think he's really going to struggle. This could easily be a game similar to what he did last week, where I think he had one of the worst passing games probably ever. I think they had negative passing yards net when you factored in the sack yardage, which is damn near unheard of.
Who did they play?
I don't remember who the hell they played, to be quite frank with you. But I know they had negative passing yards stat-wise, and that was astonishing. Because, like I said, you don't see that in the NFL today. Most teams, they're going to at least get 200 on any given Sunday with damn near any quarterback. Browning turning the ball over 6 times will still throw 100-plus, 200-plus yards a game. So, for me, it comes down to that. This is a game where I think the turnover differential plays a big factor. Bryce Young does need to protect the ball. Yes, the interception last week wasn't on him. But if you look at his overall body of work, he has been turning the ball over fairly consistently, at least 1, sometimes twice a game. So we do need to control that. We need to minimize any turnovers. But I definitely do think this is a situation where our defense can be opportunistic and force a couple turnovers from the Jets and take advantage of those and get a big road win to move above 500 for the first time in, I think, 5 years. So let's make it happen.
Jets get their first win this week. I say this because I am still not convinced that our coaching staff knows exactly what that identity is going to be. They're literally just throwing shit together and trying to make it work and hoping that the players, the personnel can actually overcome and make a play from time to time, because the schematically is not that great. You're very reliant on guys who, quite frankly, would be the number 4 option on their any other roster in this league outside of maybe 1 or 2. So really, I think that, yes, the Jets had a really bad game last week, but the Jets also played against the Denver Broncos. That was the number 1 defense in the league. Again, we've already been talking about it. They can get a 50% pressure rate by sending 4 people. So
I think they had 7 sacks last week.
So, yeah, and they probably didn't blitz once. Okay. And I understand that the Jets have a really poor O-line, but what we have? A really poor pass rush. So I don't care how bad their O-line is. We're going to get stood up, and our secondary can't hold up. I don't have any faith in the secondary. I don't have faith in Najee Rivera. I don't have any faith in our pass rush. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that we have some consistency there. But again, we played against 2 of the worst defenses in the league, and Jets happen to have a pretty decent defense. So for me, I'm gonna go Jets here, and that's just, I hate it because this should be a dub, and like Seth said, I don't think we match up well against these guys.
If Garrett Wilson was playing, it's definitely an L.
Yeah.
Like hands down, definitely an L.
It put everybody in that secondary in the washing machine every play of the week.
The thing that worries me the most is the extremely mobile quarterback, who to me is more mobile than Kyler Murray, a lot more explosive than Kyler Murray. That's what worries me. And we saw what Kyler Murray on a few plays was able to do to us, and this defense is better than what the Cardinals' defense is.
Right, 100%. Fields is going to be a difference maker. Again, he's not playing against the number 1 defense this week. He's playing against one of the worst. So. I hate it. I really do. I hate it, but this is
I'm shocked you actually picked the Jets in this situation.
I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with where I'm at. It has everything to do with a lack of trust in our coach, our personnel decisions, our scheme, and our defensive coordinator. We have still shown, I've said this whole podcast, yes, we're 3-3, and this is the first time we've been 3-3 in 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, or 500 or whatever. I'm not happy with it. We literally got lucky to have arguably the best running games of our franchise history over a 2-game stretch. Not arguably, it was against 2 of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Likely story. Here we are. So we'll see. We'll see how Dave Canales responds to a true defense, real pressure, and let's try to hopefully these receivers can do something. I mean, this is going to have to simply be, if we do win, it's going to have to be us overcoming the lack of personnel again, just getting lucky and plays happening, when very rarely do they happen, but there's going to be a lot of mishaps. There's going to be a lot of drop balls. There's going to be a lot of bad calls. There's going to be a lot of route combinations. There's going to be a lot of bad time run calls at the wrong time, draw plays in 3rd and 4. There's going to be all this crap that our coaching staff has consistently done all year that they didn't have to do the last 2 weeks because they played against a bad team. So bad defense. Now they're going to be put back in those situations where Dave Canales can be exposed again and his shit play calling, and that's where the Jets are going to be able to take advantage because
not to change the subject here. What record gets Dave Canales fired at the end of the season? Because it sounds like you're off this boat.
I'm not. I can't question what Dan Morgan's going to do. I'm just telling you where I'm at.
That's not Dan Morgan's decision. That's David Tepper's decision.
It's Dan Morgan's decision. I think it's Dan Morgan's decision. They're giving him reins. Otherwise, Jared Vera would have been gone. He just had a historically bad defense last year, literally the worst defense in league history, and he still has a job. So if it was Dave Tepper's decision, my buddy would have been fired last year. But he's still here.
Dave Tepper, he said that he gave him benefit of the doubt because of the injuries. We did have to
Tepper didn't say anything. Dan Morgan did. Dave Tepper didn't come out and say.
On the coaching staff,
Dan Morgan did not come in to Dave Tepper did not go to the mic and say, "I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt." That never happened. These are again everybody's saying he's meddling in.
My question for you: what record gets him fired this season? It sounds like you're off on David Canales. It sounds like you don't believe that David Canales is the right head coach of this team. Is that correct?
What I'm saying is week 7. He did this last year where it took him forever to get in rhythm as a play caller and getting the right people on the field in the right position to be successful. And here we are week 7, and he's still doing the same thing. Maybe he gets it together by the end of the season like he did last year. We are getting Jalen Coker probably back this week. That could be an insane shift in what our offense is going to look like. But again, we've got him catching punts. So why? So I'm not going to answer that question because I'm not Dan Morgan. And Dan Morgan has shown that he let the worst defensive coordinator in league history keep his job. I can't guarantee that Dan Morgan's going to fire the offensive coordinator / head coach because the personnel that they've got is a bunch of practice squad players playing in positions. Maybe those decisions get him fired, but still hasn't. So here we are. So I can't – there's not a number. I'm not going to say week 7 Callahan gets fired for Dave Canales because week 7 Callahan got fired. But for Dave Canales, I can't say that for him because he has shown spurts, and Dan Morgan is a very loyal GM. He's the one that decides that the head coach gets fired.
No, he doesn't. He has no decision-making in that whatsoever.
All right.
But that's just my opinion. That's a David Tepper decision at the end of the day.
Okay.
We'll see. We're 3-3. We're 500 for the first time in 4 years. So, I think he's pretty safe right now, but you never know. It's a long season for a reason.
Yeah, well, if you have not yet started following, go to Stop Capping Podcast on Facebook, Stop Capping Podcast on Instagram, Stop Capping Pod on X, and like and subscribe here on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. Let's comment a little bit, have a little chat. Let us know what you think of the podcast. And as always, keep freaking pounding.